how the Brewers their second pick, Josh Noth. That's
Mhm.
how he introduced himself when he was talking about because they were talking to him about his fastball, and then he's
Yeah.
he's like, my curveball is actually my best pitch, and he's like, he literally just said grip it and rip it, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
like this guy already.
I like him too. I'm on board.
So the Brewers are starting to sign a bunch of their draft picks. They've locked up, I want to say, 5 of them so far.
Yep.
The deadline to have your draft picks signed is next Tuesday. So Jake and I are going to put off talking about draft picks until next Wednesday, so that way we know who is all signed and who is all not coming to the team, because that would be essentially wasted energy, which
Yeah.
not trying to do. So that being said, we're doing a little bit different style today. So we have all of our regular content. We're doing our 4 games that we had to discuss from last week,
Mhm.
but we are also doing a fun, a fun little draft. Not necessarily a draft because we can use the same guys,
Yeah.
but a fun little segment. And this came partially from an idea from my daughter. She's talking about it. She's like trying to imagine the Milwaukee Bucks players playing football.
Mhm.
So I called Jake and I'm like, Lily just gave me this idea. We should draft a team out of the other Wisconsin sports teams.
Mhm.
So with it being Brewers season, we're starting with the Brewers. We are going to do the Bucks and the Packers when those teams are in season, but we're starting
Mhm.
with the Brewers. So we have to make a Brewers team out of Badgers basketball and football players, Packers players, and Bucks players.
Yep.
So we are each doing a 1 through 9 lineup with positions, and then 2 starters, a reliever, and a closing pitcher. So that being said, do you want to start with pitchers or the lineup first?
Pitchers.
Okay. Okay. So we have 2 starters, a reliever, and a closer.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have the same starting pitchers. So I guess it does make sense that we're starting with starting pitchers because we have one of the same ones. So give me your first starting pitcher.
So this one's obvious because he got drafted to the MLB out of college. He pitched in college. His name is Pat Do-It-All Connaughton. Guy's just straight up just an athlete, dude. He's just an athlete. That's all I would explain him.
Yep. I also have Pat Connaughton on my list. So for starting pitchers, we need one more. Now, who is your second starting pitcher?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. Okay. I went with a guy that's gonna be getting all the love in September. Jordan Love.
Okay, I like it. Okay. My second starting pitcher, you're going to like this, and you're going to probably be mad that you didn't think about it. But this is one of the positions that he played in high school, and he is going to be a Wisconsin Badgers football player. I'm going with Amari Snowden as my second starting pitcher.
He's on the list. He's just later.
Spoiler alert, he's on my list again later, too.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I made Amari Snowden my Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, I like it.
Spoiler
He probably
alert.
like that too. He probably like that too, honestly.
I actually reached out to him and asked him, I'm like, hey, what positions did you play in baseball? And he told me pitcher and center field. So I'm like, bet.
Yep.
Okay. Give me your relief pitcher.
Saginaw Valley State quarterback from 2000 to 2002, Matt LaFleur.
Oh, okay.
You like that?
I see what you did there. All right. I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm totally here for it. I'm down for that. I like it.
I put actual thought into this. I was like, this has got to make sense.
Okay, so I told you this, that my relief pitcher guy does not have a baseball background at all.
Okay.
But my relief pitcher, I went with Tyler Wall. Now, I went with Tyler Wall because when you watch him play, he can absolutely dominate games for chunks at a time.
Okay.
So I went with Tyler Wall because you have a relief pitcher. You say, I need one dominant inning out of you. And I feel like Tyler Wall, he's got those spurts where he just scores like 12 straight points over like a 6-minute span.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with Tyler Wall. It was not for any baseball reasons at all. It was purely contextual.
Huh. Okay, I mean, I'm on board with that. Okay, you want me to do my closing
Yep,
pitcher?
give me your closer.
This is where I put Amari Snowden. I
Okay.
looked him up. He has an 89-mile-per-hour fastball. So if we're just making teams of like athletes from other teams and we had to face them, I was like, give me a guy with a good fastball to close it out.
I like it. Okay, so my closer, I did go with another defensive back from the Badgers. I went with Alexander Smith. I don't know if he played pitcher, but I
Mhm.
do know that when he was in high school, he lettered in baseball twice.
Oh wow, that's that makes sense.
So I got that. Okay. So now going from a pitching rotation, now we're gonna go to starting lineup. So this is a 1 through 9. We have all the nine positions, 8 positions, not including pitcher, and then a DH. So leading off, I knew I needed some speed. So leading off and playing shortstop, going to be kind of a tall shortstop, but I'm going with Christian Watson.
Oh, that's where you put Watson, huh?
I put him at shortstop.
Okay. I also have my shortstop leading off, and he is also very fast. He's on the other side of the ball, though. His name is Jair Alexander.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. Okay. So batting second, I have a guy who always dominates the softball games when the Packers
Ooh.
play them. So playing
Ooh.
second base because he's a little bit of a smaller guy, I have Aaron Jones.
I'm mad that I didn't get him on my list, but we did make a rule with each other that we have to have at least one Packer, one
Yep.
Badger, one Buck. So for me, batting second is my center fielder, and this is where I have Christian Watson.
Oh, okay. Batting third is where I have my center fielder. That's where I put Amari Snowden. I made him my Shohei Ohtani. I made him my center fielder, starting pitcher.
Okay. So batting third, traditionally it's your best player, right? It's the guy that hits for average, hits for power. You want star power in that 3-hole. There's no bigger star in this state than Giannis, who's playing right field for me.
Giannis playing right field. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't have Giannis on my team at all because I've seen him actually try to play baseball.
I have not.
It was rough for him. Giannis is a basketball and soccer guy. Giannis trying to play baseball, it was hilarious. Okay, so my cleanup spot, I needed some power. So batting fourth, playing catcher, I went with A.J. Dillon.
Ooh, very nice. That's a good catcher. So for me, my 4 spot is my third baseman, and it's Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen at third base. All right.
He just had a celebrity softball game, by the way.
He did. Okay, so this one, I based the position for this guy purely on his size.
Mm-hmm.
So playing first base, batting fifth, I have Brooke Lopez.
You have the same idea as me. I love you. He's not up yet though. My left fielder and batting fifth is a newcomer to the Wisconsin Badgers basketball program. This guy can jump out of the gym. Badgers fans are going to love him. AJ Storr.
Dude, I'm so excited for AJ Storr. That's a great pick. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
So this is a very sneaky one. I went through all of the player bios to try to find stuff.
Okay.
So my number 6 hitter is my DH. I have Isaac Lindsay.
Oh.
Now I don't know what his senior year stats was.
Okay.
But I know that he went to state for baseball in his junior and senior year. And I know that in his junior year, he batted .533.
Holy shit. Wow. Things I did not know and thought I was never going to know for 1,000, Alex. Wow. That's an underrated pick. I was definitely not expecting to hear Isaac Lindsay, dude.
Yeah.
So my 6-hole hitter is also my first baseman. I just wanted a little bit more power in my 6th spot, so I put Brooke Lopez down at the 6-hole. Right, I love the idea. I love that we had the same idea for Brooke Lopez.
Like, dude, so close.
Like a 7-footer up there. Like, come on, man, you can't overthrow that.
How did you overthrow Brooke Lopez?
Yeah. I gave Braylon Allen the biggest out of all time from third base. I was like, if he misses Brooke Lopez, he's got problems.
Right. All right, batting seventh, playing left field. I have a similar idea that you went with Jair, but I put Ricardo Hallman. All the reports out of spring camp was basically that he was intercepting like 3 passes a day and just catching everything. So I went with Ricardo Hallman at left field.
That's terrifying, especially for Iowa quarterbacks who don't seem to throw good to anybody.
And Purdue, I don't know who's playing quarterback for them.
Probably 3 guys we never heard of.
Right. And 2 will be true freshmen.
Yeah, right. My 7-hole hitter and playing second base is a fan of the show, Cole LaCrue.
I like it. I thought about putting like all the quarterbacks on here just because like you figure they all have good arms.
Right.
Okay, so batting at eighth, playing third base, I have Connor Essegian.
Oh.
So Connor Essegian, listen to this. He has 2 grandpas on each side. They each have a cousin. One of his grandpa's cousins played 6 years in Major League Baseball, including the 1959 World Series. His other grandpa's cousin is Robin Yount.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
What?
Connor Essegian's grandpa's cousin is Robin Yount.
What? I am shocked. What just happened? Wow. Holy shit.
You thought you didn't know anything when I pulled out Isaac Lindsay.
What? Wow, that is amazing. So I went a little lackadaisical on my DH and catcher. I won't lie. But my DH, this guy's just fun. He's getting disrespected by national media and our own fans. He's 69 in our hearts. David Bakhtiari. He's got to pack a punch, right? So at least if he can't hit for average, he can hit for power, and he's a great locker room guy.
And I'll tell you this: I don't know if there's a guy in the state who would be more excited to play for a team named after the Brewing.
Yeah, for real, right? Right?
I feel like Bakhtiari would love that. Simon said I almost made Jake lose his hat. Should have said hold on to your hat when I said that. My number 9 guy, pretty straightforward. Playing right field, I have Jordan Love.
Oh, interesting. My catcher is a guy that catches footballs for a living, but my 9-hole hitter and my catcher is DK. Wanted a little bit more speed at the 9-hole, when we turn the lineup over. So Shimmer DK, your boy.
Yeah, I like it. So Simon. Okay. Well, this was fun. This was a fun little icebreaker coming out of the All-Star break. And speaking of having fun coming out of the All-Star break, I mean, the Brewers certainly did. So we have 4 games to talk about today. And it's going to be the entire series against the Reds and then last night's opening game against the Phillies. So, Jake, give me your power pair and underrated performer from those 4 games.
So, for my power pair hitter, I went with William Contreras. He had a 10-game hitting streak before it ended last night, so he almost tied his career-high hitting streak. He went 6 of 16 overall. He had 1 run, 1 double, 1 home run, 1 RBI, and a walk. He was slashing .375 average, a .412 on base percentage. That is nice. I hope he continues to do that for the rest of the year. A .625 slug. I also hope he continues to do that, maybe a little bit higher. But this one, if he does this for the rest of the year, holy shit. A 1.037 OPS. The man is getting on base and he's hitting the ball hard, so you can't complain with that.
For sure.
My power pitcher was, this was the best pitcher this week. Corbin Burns. I got to tell you, Brewers fans have to stop disrespecting this guy.
Yeah.
He had a tough first half, and who knows the reason behind it. It could be, the disagreement he had with the front office this offseason, and maybe he was letting that – yeah, it could be anything. We don't know. It could be a family issue. We don't know what's going on, right?
Could just be a little bit of a down couple months.
Yeah, maybe he just wasn't locating the ball correctly, right? It doesn't always have to be.
He rebounded well enough to get into the All-Star game.
All right. But his first start against the Reds was just fucking fire, dude. Needless to say, he went 1-0 this week. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks. He had a mini heart attack, and then he still struck 13 people out, and he ended with a 0.67 whip. So, yeah, take that.
Damn.
My underrated performer was the guy that pitched the next day. So this is kind of my boy. It's everybody's boy. But fastball Freddie Peralta. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 earned runs again, 2 walks again. He only had 6 strikeouts, but a 0.50 whip. A little bit better than Corbin Burns, but Corbin Burns was just disgusting. I cannot wait to get into the game breakdown of that for that game, dude. Oh, I got some stuff to say.
Simon said the Brewers have been killing it lately. He said, I saw the post that said they were going to get swept by the Reds, which is funny because that was before the All-Star break.
Yep.
We played them 6 straight games.
Yep.
And the guy was saying we were going to get swept in the first 3. Not only did we not get swept in the first 3 and took 2 of 3, but then the next 3 took all 3.
We took 5 out of 6 from those suckers, dude.
Yeah.
And then they lost 2 games yesterday.
And clinched the NL Central tiebreaker. So they have to finish a full game ahead of the Brewers.
Yep.
They can't finish the season tied because so it's essentially the same thing the Brewers had last year where they can't tie the season series at the end. They need to be 1 game ahead.
Yep.
Okay. So my power pair and underrated performer, my power pair, I have Christian Yelich again for the 5th time in 6 weeks. And the only time I didn't have him in those 6 weeks, Jake did.
Yep.
So Christian Yelich has been a part of somebody's power pair for the last 6 weeks straight.
It's been pretty good.
So he had 4 RBI last week. He was 4 for 12 against the Reds, and then he was 0 for 4 last night. So he was 4 for 16, which is a 250 batting average on the week. But 3 of his 4 hits against the Reds were for extra bases. He had 2 home runs and a double. So 3 extra base hits last week. And I just, because I like to up the pettiness level a little bit when it comes to the negativity from our fan bases. Still crying that after we put out the Christian Yelich apology form that he's overpaid. I just checked it last night. So far after the 4 games, Christian Yelich is up to a $26.3 million value from Fangraphs. He is officially having a season that is quote unquote worth more than the 26.2 he's being paid. So you can't even use that argument anymore.
Yep.
He is now officially being paid technically less than he's worth based on Fangraphs value model.
So we're getting a deal.
We're getting a deal. Not to mention that his 2018 and 2019 seasons were both worth like $45 million. But
yeah.
Actually, Lorenzo Cain's 2018 season was worth like $38 million, and he got paid like 15.
Yeah, think about that, dude.
He was amazing in 2018. My power pitcher, I went with Devin Williams. He made 3 appearances, 7 strikeouts, 0 hits, 0 walks, 3 saves. The 3 games he appeared in, 14 pitches, 8 pitches, 9 pitches, 31 pitches total to accumulate 3 saves. We had like 0 Devin Williams stress this week. He just came in, locked shit down, went home. Thank you for the sweep.
I did not think he was going to pitch on Sunday, dude.
I didn't either, but when you factor in the fact that they had Monday off, it made sense.
Well, we were so stuck on 17 fucking straight days.
Right?
Dude.
Yeah.
It was hard to think about an off day.
Right? What's an off day?
Yeah, right.
All right, you ready for a really disgusting Devin Williams stat?
Yes, I am. I'm always
If you take out his 2 blown saves, Devin Williams has a .25 ERA.
Holy shit.
1 earned run in 35 innings pitched.
He might be the best closer in baseball, and I know people are going to call us homers for saying that, but
he's guaranteed locked and loaded top 3.
He might be the best, man, because that he has a pitch that is unhittable, right?
Right.
So right there puts him in the top 5 discussion in my mind.
Sure.
Then you add in if he's locating his fastball, you're screwed.
Yeah. We'll talk about it when we get into the games a little bit, but he mixed in some cutters a little bit.
Am I supposed to say bing when he says bong? I'm just wondering. Bing bong?
Bing bong? I don't know. Bing bong, whatever. I don't know. Okay, so my underrated performer, I went with Adrian Hauser.
Mm.
I saw people dogging him. The Brewers, the Reds jump out to a 1-0 lead. Brewers tie
Yeah.
it at 1 on a Christian Yelich home run, and the Reds take the lead back 3-1. It's the 4th inning, and people are like, oh, Adrian Hauser's trash. Adrian Hauser just gave the lead right back. What the fuck? He ended up pitching 5 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 walks, had 5 strikeouts, gave up 3 earned runs. That is essentially the Adrian Hauser stat line. Put it in the museum. That's what he averaged every time he pitched.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you get 5 2/3 and 3 earned runs out of Adrian Hauser, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too.
So he gave up the 3 earned runs in the first 3 innings. Over the next 3 innings, he retired 11 straight batters.
Yes, he did.
I'm not going to go as far as to make an Adrian Hauser apology for him, but there's definitely some people that owe him some apologies for being dicks in the middle of a game.
How many times do we have to tell people to wait till the end?
Man, if I had the answer to that, I'd be much richer.
You'd have the Powerball numbers.
Right? Tim said Jay and Silent Bob. Okay, so before we jump into the games, I want to go to a fan-submitted question that actually came from Yelly is the GOAT on TikTok. Actually had a TikTok submitted question this week asking us what we thought about adding Heimer Candelario. So I looked into him. He plays for the Nationals. He wasn't part of our trade targets last week when we had Eric Agnew on from Miller Park Minute. But I looked up Heimer Candelario. He's a switch batting third baseman. He's batting .238 versus lefties, .274 versus righties. And he has played some first base, but not since 2020. He's played a little over 600 games, and he's played about 10% of them at first base. So, people can say that he's played some first base in his career, but he's essentially been a third baseman by trade for the last 3 seasons. What I will say on the subject of Candelario, I'm not opposed to it. I do think there are positions on the Brewers that need to be addressed more than third base.
I agree with that. People are so fixated on the batting averages, man. Like, they don't take into account how our team is built.
Right.
Like, and Brian Anderson plays great defense.
Right.
And it is very noticeable when he's not out there. Like, nothing against Monasterio. I don't expect everybody to play that high level of defense. I think Monasterio does a fine job. He had the one rough game against the Cubs a couple weeks ago now. And after that, dude, he's been pretty damn solid, in my opinion.
I agree. And we were talking about it before the show, looking at third baseman. There's a guy who has not been given enough credit for how actually very good he's been this season. And sure, if you look at him with, MVP goggles on, he hasn't been that great. But if you look at it through the lens of who is this guy? We didn't know his name before the season. He's played like 4 different positions for us and done so quite successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Monasterio has not been given enough credit for actually how solid he has played for the Brewers this season.
He looks, I'll say this, and this is a compliment to him. Because as you broke it down, a guy we didn't know his name before the season, he looks like an MLB player, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Like he looks like he belongs. And
I'll say, I remember bringing this up, like his first time when he was first called up. He plays with a smile on his face every single day.
I know.
It's honestly, it's infectious.
It is.
So real quick, I just want to throw these couple things out there while we're on the subject of talking about trades and just more players. 2 things. Kurt Hogg just tweeted, some folks have wondered what's going on with Garrett Mitchell. He said there isn't much to report as of now. He's rehabbing and not yet doing baseball activities. A return late in the season, likely as a pinch runner, isn't ruled out.
Oh. Still might be able to use his legs. I like that.
Yeah. I think Craig Counsell has done a fantastic job using guys like Tyrone Taylor and Blake Perkins for those types of things and those types of appearances. So giving him Garrett Mitchell, potentially one of the fastest players in baseball, to use in situations like that, I love it. Now, the last thing I'm going to say on trade potential targets or where the Brewers should be looking to upgrade, and this is where I got my feelings on Andrew Monasterio being underrated. is looking at Kurt Hogg tweeted the Brewers OPS by position and their MLB rank. So looking at it, just going around the horn, at catcher, the Brewers are 4th in OPS.
I like that.
At first base, they're 29th.
Don't like that.
At second base, they are 26th.
Don't like that.
Which I will say, as far as second base goes, they are getting elite defensive play from Bryce.
Dude, if anybody questions Bryce Terang's defense, and he fucking cares, first of all, he wants to hit the fucking ball. He had 2 hits last night, by the way.
Yeah. Almost underrated performer. But
almost.
The dude's a massive stud defensively.
Yes, he is. He already has that on lockdown.
Yeah. Shortstop, 21st. This was lower earlier in the season. Willie Adames is starting to slowly bring the Brewers up in that area.
Yeah.
Third base, 13th.
Oh, wow.
Brian Anderson has been, call it average. He's played good defense, but call it average OPS this season. Andrew Monasterio has made a difference there.
Yes, 100%.
Left field, 6th.
Not a shock.
Center field, 18th, which is that's Joey Weimer.
I can live with that.
And it's middle third. Right field, 30th, DH, 29th. So I look at this, looking at OPS based on positions, and I'm looking at it like Christian Yelich and William Contreras are carrying this team.
100%.
And I'll throw Victor Caratini in there as well because he's done very well in his smaller sample size.
I won't lie. I would love more Caratini as DH.
I actually,
or Contreras.
Let's branch. Let's go right into game one with this.
Okay.
When we go with catchers, but last thing on this. Essentially, it's first base, DH, and right field. Those are the 3 big things.
Mm-hmm.
Not really third base. They're doing okay there.
Yeah.
That would be arguably the 4th spot that I'd be looking. Mm-hmm. But so you just said that you would like the idea of Caratini more at DH.
Yeah.
I have it written in here that beginning with game 1 against the Reds, William Contreras extended his hitting streak to 8, and I put in my notes that it's a nice call by counsel to DH Contreras and get Victor Caratini in the lineup.
Well, Caratini always catches burns, so he was already in the lineup.
So I actually like the idea of DHing Contreras a little more and letting Victor Caratini play catcher a little bit more.
I feel not that Contreras is bad, but I do feel like Caratini is a little bit better at defensive.
I think so. William Contreras has become a very good pitch framer.
Yeah,
but I do think that Caratini is a better blocker or handling pitches that are in the dirt or bounced pitches. Yeah. I do think Caratini is better at that.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that.
So I like the idea of Contreras DHing. But so what stood out to you from the first game of the series besides Corbin Burnes being an absolute strikeout monster, nobody can touch me pitcher?
So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to be nice about it. I thought it was laughable that people were calling the Reds America's team in June. Okay. We had to tell you did you see that?
I didn't see that at all.
Oh, dude, I saw it in a bunch of comments on like MLB Network and stuff like that. Their posts, they were like, "Reds are America's team. Reds are America's team," because they're exciting to watch. I won't lie. They brought up Elly De La Cruz, which he is a big, long, athletic kid. And he's going to be very good for a long time. He's going to play exciting baseball. He's going to make crazy plays, and all the credit to him. Okay, he got taught.
Same as O'Neal Cruz in Pittsburgh. Same thing.
Elly De La Cruz got taught a lesson. He walks up there with his swag, which I respect. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
He wears his chains. He goes up there. He's got the pink on. He had to lick his wounds after this one because he got taught a lesson from a Cy Young award-winning pitcher. He struck him out on 3 curveballs, and I know you're going to have the curveball strikeout stat, so just hold on to that. Hold on to that for a sec. 13 strikeouts for Corbin Burnes. This was a sellout crowd in Cincinnati. So we take 2 out of 3 from them. We win the last one 1-0, and then we have the All-Star break. We take this one 1-0. I'm going to let you have that stat too. Sellout crowd in Cincinnati watched their team strike out 18 fucking times.
Oh man, I got some stats for you, dude.
Holy shit, dude. Can you imagine, like, Tyler and I get to go to the game in 2 days
Friday
on
night.
Friday against
Yeah.
the Braves. If I watch the Brewers strike out 18 times, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Like, I'm not even gonna like hide my emotions. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go back to this game real quick. Adames and Contreras both had doubles in this game. Both had their 15th double in this game. Owen Miller got his 12th stolen base of the season, and Victor Caratini comes up clutch again. This guy amazing call up by you, by the way. I believe it was after the Mets home run. You said that he's developing a really, really good clutch gene. And I believe that too. I remember June 11th or whatever, I was texting you. And I was like, I don't really know who I trust on this team outside of Contreras and Yelich, in a big moment. And now I can add Victor Caratini in that. The guy just comes up clutch. He can bat from both sides of the plate. Honestly, we're talking about underrated. I'm talking myself into it. He might be the most underrated, underappreciated player on this team.
That's
the guy
fair.
plays dirty defense. Like I said, he bats from both sides. He calls good games for Corbin Burns.
Absolutely.
And Burns is our best pitcher. Woodruff is awesome. Not going to take anything away from him. But when Corbin Burns is on, he's one of the top 3 pitchers of all of baseball.
Yep.
That includes a Shohei Ohtani, Scherzer, Verlander. I don't care who you put up there. When Burns is on, dude, Burns is like the guy. Right? He's got that ability. Yep. So Victor Caratini having the trust of a guy like that just tells me all I need to know about him too. So the one thing that was kind of a negative in this game is Yelich's 17-game on base streak ended, which was the longest in baseball. That now belongs to Freddie Freeman, who got his up to 19 last night.
Freddie Freeman's so good.
He is, and he's such a nice guy.
I know.
It makes it hard to hate him.
I know.
He plays for the Dodgers, but dude, he's such a good dude.
I feel the same about Anthony Rizzo. Like when we did our drafting our favorite non-Brewer MLB players, I picked Freddie Freeman and Anthony Rizzo. And it's like, God, he played for the Cubs and the Yankees. Like,
ugh. It almost doesn't get worse than that. Like, just add the Dodgers on there and you just suck.
Oh man, don't put that evil on me. But Freddie Freeman's on the Dodgers, so I don't think Anthony Rizzo's going there anytime soon.
Yeah.
On the subject of Victor Caratini, I put it to you, and what I will say, I challenge you to find a better backup catcher than Travis d'Arnaud. Is the only guy I can think of from the Braves. He's really the only guy that I can think of that would be a better backup catcher in Major League Baseball than Victor Caratini has been.
I would agree to that. Do you want to answer this question from Michael?
Yeah, let's put it up. Michael just popped in. He said, hey, guys, just got to say this team defensively is so much better than any of our recent teams. The range in the outfielders, third and second base has really been noticeable to me. Thoughts? This is essentially what the Brewers hang their hats on. Mm-hmm. We know that the offense isn't their thing. We know that. It doesn't pay to continue to be a dick about it on social media. I'm not saying you, Mike, because it's not you. There's people on social media that like to continue going, well, the Brewers are second last in average.
Well, I don't know who that could be.
We're still 9 games over 500. There's other things that matter besides hitting. And yeah, hitting is great, but defense wins championships.
You know what I wanted to ask that guy today? I didn't have time. Do you think that the Astros are a good baseball team? Yes or no?
Off the cuff, I'll say yeah.
They have the exact same record as the Brewers. The literal exact same record. So you're going to look at the Astros because they got some people that can hit the baseball.
Yeah.
And you're going to say that they're a good team. And you're going to discredit stuff that our bullpen has done. Discredit stuff that our starting pitching has done without a Brandon Woodruff. You're going to discredit all the defense that this team plays. I don't know how many times we could talk about how good Brian Anderson is at third base, dude. Or how good Bryce Terang is at second base. Like, balls are not getting past them. Bryce Terang clearly makes up for the lack of defense that we get from Owen Miller on occasion sometimes, and so sometimes from Rowdy Tellez. But then you bring up the range in the outfield. I mean, Jesus, where do you hit the damn ball with Joey Weimer running over? The guy's everywhere, right?
I think it's hilarious that Joey Weimer can be playing center field shaded towards the right center gap.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich playing straight up in left field, and a dude hits a ball to the left center gap, and both of them are there ready to catch the ball.
Yep. And Blake Perkins is freaking awesome on defense.
Thank you. I'm
Blake
glad
Perkins
you brought
is
his name up
freaking
as well.
awesome. He is so fast. He gets such a good read on the ball.
Yeah.
Like when there's a ball hit to Blake
Great
Perkins, literally the camera goes over there and Blake Perkins is waiting for the baseball. Like he's already like, all right, come on, like he's so good. That's how you can tell the guys that get the good jump, right? Yeah, we're so good on defense, but because we don't hit with runners in scoring position every day, like you go up there and hit with runners in scoring position, you jackknob.
And I'll say this. If the team is winning games, like all you need to do is adjust to the fact that this is their identity.
Yeah.
Their identity is run prevention and scoring 4 runs a game and saying the other team can't score more than 3.
You know what? A lot of times it's true.
And here's the thing. Since June 30th, the Brewers have the second best scoring offense, only to the Braves.
Oof.
So James said, what's up, guys? Guess 1 game back at the halfway mark wasn't the end of the world, huh? Guess not.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Season's over. Season's over. There's only 75 games left. Are we going to catch them?
Oh, my God. That guy stole all the bases. We're done.
Ellie De La Cruz stole home. Our season's over. Only 75 games to go to catch them.
Yep. We're done.
Michael said he agreed with what we said about the Brewers defense. I'm just going to throw this out there because the shit's fucking hilarious to me. Plus minus is a really overrated stat. If your team is, say 8 games under 500, but you have a positive run differential, and my team is, say, 9 games over 500 with a negative run differential, which one would you rather be?
Well, I like wins, so I don't know about you.
I would rather win 1-0 100 times than lose 11-10 80 times and win 11-0 82 times. I'll take 100 wins over 82 wins, literally every single time. There is not a single aspect of baseball where run differential matters more than winning games. There's nothing. Winning is literally the number one thing that you want to do. We talked about this with the Astros series when they lost 12-2, but took 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'll get blown out once out of every 3 games if I know that I'm winning the other 2.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, Michael, you took my line. You play to win the game. I mean, isn't that the point?
So, speaking of winning games, game 1, bottom of the first, Willie Adames made a great play to run back a few steps and jump in the air to take away a hit from TJ Friedl. And then Corbin Burns got his first strikeout on a curveball. Followed it up with a strikeout of Ellie De La Cruz on 3 pitches, 2 of them curveballs. Bottom of the second inning, Corbin Burns, 2 more strikeouts, including Jonathan India on a slider and Joey Votto on a curveball.
Nope, we should have walked Joey Votto.
Wasn't the second inning?
No, I said we should have walked.
Oh, yeah. Should have walked
him.
Yeah,
good call. Chick. She said every time we see Joey Votto, we have to walk him.
So his first 4 strikeouts, 3 of them on curveballs, 1 of them on sliders.
They got pooped on by off speed.
The last time they faced Corbin Burns, he threw 13 straight cutters to start the game.
Oh my God, he's playing with them, dude.
Oh, they're coming in all right, this is Corbin Burns. He's got a great cutter, and then they're just like, what the fuck is happening?
He throws a slider.
Everything he's doing is dropping out of the zone and hitting the dirt.
Yeah, he was shitting on them, dude.
So, top of the third, Tyrone Taylor, first pitch swinging. It was a good swing. It broke his bat, which resulted in a fly out. It did. This surprised me, I'll say. So, Joey Weimer is rounding third base. He gets tagged out at home. Mm-hmm. And I'm shocked that people actually were supportive of sending Joey Weimer.
Oh, wow.
People were actually saying that it was a good send. It's like Joey Weimer's one of our fastest players. There's no reason to be mad at Jason Lane for that. Mm-hmm. So, bottom of the third inning, Corbin Burns finally gets his first strikeout on a cutter. then he gets a strikeout on a sinker. So Corbin Burns just out here throwing sinkers now.
Yeah.
Then gets another strikeout of Ellie De La Cruz on another curveball.
Yeah, he looks
Strikes
bad.
out the side in the third inning. 7 strikeouts and 13 whiffs through 3 innings pitched for Corbin Burns.
Yikes.
I will give credit to Ashcraft. He was through 4 innings on 41 pitches. He was off to a really good start.
Yeah, he was.
Bottom of the fourth, Corbin Burns, another 1-2-3 inning. Did have 1 strikeout and a cutter in the fourth. Top of the fifth, Tyrone Taylor, another good rip, just right at the left fielder. So I do feel that even though I'm not very high on Tyrone Taylor, I do feel that he's seeing the ball better.
Agreed.
Bottom of the fifth, Corbin Burns gets another strikeout on a sinker. Like, that's just dude's throwing cutters, and now he's going to start throwing sinkers. He's just like, check it out, guys. I have a new pitch that you can't touch.
Yeah.
Follows it up with his 10th strikeout on an absolute dot on the outside corner with a cutter. Just disgusting. Bottom of the sixth, Corbin Burns opens with a strikeout on a changeup.
Mm-hmm.
Strikes out Ellie De La Cruz on another curveball. And then strikes out India on a cutter. He finished with 13 strikeouts. 12 of them were swinging strikeouts.
Nice.
That's disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely nasty.
Did ESPN talk about that? No?
Yeah. Yeah. Should have traded him while he was worth something, I guess.
Yeah, nope. Ellie De La Cruz is just like tall and stuff. So cool.
Top of the seventh, William Adames led off with a double. Owen Miller singled to right field, stole second base, and then Victor Caratini delivers again with an RBI single. Jesse Winker followed that up with a walk, and that was the only run scored.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of the seventh, Elvis Guerrero got 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Top of the eighth, Willie Adames just missed a home run, just foul, 3-4 rows foul, barely missed a home run. Bottom of the eighth, Piamps came in, fly out, strikeout. Top of the ninth, Brewers went 1-2-3. Bottom of the ninth, Devin Williams comes in. He opens with a cutter. So apparently Devin Williams just throwing cutters now. He gets a strikeout, a flyout, and a strikeout of Fraley, Ellie De La Cruz, and Jonathan India.
Yep.
This game, to me, I said this last week with Eric Agnew. This is the formula. Your starter goes 6. You go Peguero, Piamps, Williams, 7, 8, 9, lockdown. Awesome.
The fucking law firm, dude. They call them the law firm.
That's awesome. The law firm of Peguero,
Yeah.
Piamps, and Williams.
Yeah, dude.
That might be a graphic. I'm writing that down.
That's disgusting.
Writing that down.
We're just making ideas live now. Look forward to that graphic, people. Look forward to that graphic, people.
Next time it happens, it's getting posted. And then every time those 3 come in a game and we win, it's getting posted.
I love it.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for just some absolutely disgusting statistics?
Yes.
Corbin Burns, 13 strikeouts. 5 on the cutter, to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
5 strikeouts on curveballs. That's like his 4th best pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3rd.
I mean, against De La Cruz, it was his first best pitch. So
1 strikeout on a changeup, 1 strikeout on a slider, 1 strikeout on a sinker. This was the first time the Brewers won back-to-back 1-0 games in franchise history. It was Corbin Burns' first double-digit strikeout game of 2023. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that he had some heat stroke in the 5th inning. Mm-hmm. He came back in the 6th inning and struck out the side.
I know, dude.
Who does that?
That's hilarious to me. I was like, so the dude's just going to have a heart attack right now? Like, it took him like 20 minutes to stand up. He couldn't see. He's like,
bottle of water. He's good. 3 more strikeouts.
It's just like, this is Corbin Burns. Like,
I will say,
give me the ball, Victor.
I will say, I appreciate Cincinnati fans cheering for him.
Yeah,
for
that was
staying
classy.
In the game. That was, yes, like you said, it was classy.
That was classy.
So good job, Cincinnati. I respect you for that.
Yes.
You want to know what I think might be the biggest thing for Corbin Burns from the first half to the second half? His slider, compared to the first half of the season to this game, had 5 more inches of horizontal movement.
How do you just add 5 more inches? Shut up. I knew you were going to. Oh, you're such a fucker, dude. I knew you were going to do that. I knew it.
That's what you get for phrasing it that way.
How do you want it? How do you add 5 more inches to your slider? Like,
yes, that's what I would have said.
All right, how do you add 5 more inches to your slider?
I don't know.
What was the average on a slider before that?
It was 18 inches before, 23 inches after.
Shit.
Cody said he set you up for that. It got hot in here. Oh, shit. Okay. Last one, because you brought up the fact that the Brewers struck out the Reds 18 times in this game. In the 2 1-0 wins, the Brewers struck out the Reds 32 times. That is the most strikeouts without a run scored in 2 games in the modern era of baseball.
Yep.
That goes back over 120 years.
Yep. It was 1893, I believe, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. I saw that stat. That was disgusting.
That's just gross.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have more similar type stats after we talk about game 2. So what stood out to you from game 2?
Well, Willie Peralta said Corbin Burns is going to pitch good. I guess I got to look
Willie
like
Peralta. That dude hasn't pitched for us.
Freddie Peralta. I did it again. I even have an F in front of his name. You son of a bitch, Jake. I'm just going to write the whole Freddie. I'm just going to write
Just start calling him Freddie so you actually get his name right.
I like to call him by their last name. I don't know why, but Freddie.
Call his full name then. Mr. Fredward Peralta.
Fredward Peralta. Fredwardo?
Maybe. I mean,
who knows, right?
If it's not you from calling him Willie every week.
I'm just going to call him Fredwardo. Fredwardo had 6 innings pitched, only gave up 1 hit to 2 walks, 0 earned runs again for the entire pitching staff, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Going to have some stats on that later. And 6 strikeouts. Saying too much again. Here I go. So after that, you get to the law firm. I can just call them the law firm. I don't even have to say
I like it. The law firm of Paguero, Payams, and Williams. I love it.
So the law firm had 3 innings pitched, 1 walk, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts themselves. Just when you are in a game against the Brewers and we are in the lead and you see Elvis Paguero warming up in the bullpen, just literally just start shitting your pants because it's over after that. You're just done. Like you have 6 innings to get the lead on the Brewers.
Do you remember 10 days ago when people wanted him DFA'd because he allowed Ellie De La Cruz to steal home?
Seriously, do it off 1 mistake.
Yep.
Imagine if never mind. We're being nice today.
I didn't agree to
that. So on the offensive side of things, there was a rain delay before this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually thankful for the rain delay. It allowed me to go out to dinner with my dad and my stepmom with my family. So thank you, rain in Ohio. Immediately when I got home, I saw the first pitch of the game, and Christian Yelich is just like, home run. Apo Taco. His first pitch home run of his career. First leadoff, first pitch home run of his career. Also his 12th of this season, 47th RBI. Contreras got the 33 RBIs. He also hit a home run. He led off the 4th inning with a home run. That was his 10th of the season. And Owen Miller in the 7th inning decided to hit a solo shot, his 5th home run of the season. His first home run.
Okay, let me ask you, because I thought of you as soon as I saw him hit the home run. Which one of the 3 was your favorite? Because you said you're a moonshot guy.
I think Contreras got me the most excited because like we were up 1-0, and I'm like, I don't want another 1-0 game, right? Because we said 2 in a row. And then Contreras got a home run, and I was kind of like, all right, the floodgates are open, boys. We're up 2. I think that was my favorite one. Owen Miller's was nice, though.
I thought it was going to be Owen Miller's because he like turned on it, cranked it into the second deck.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed that. But kind of just from the mindset of only being up 1-0 to going up 2-0 was kind of like,
all right,
I can relax a little bit. Isn't that stupid? Like 2-0, I can relax a little bit. But yeah, he had seventh inning. He led off the seventh inning, 0-0 out, obviously. His fifth home run, 25th RBI of the year. So, do you want me to say my stats now, or do you want me to wait till after?
Let's wait because we can just rip off like 8 disgusting
Okay.
stats in a row because I have more.
Okay, I'm ready. You go.
Okay. Top of the first, Christian Yelich, you mentioned, hit that first pitch home run. His fourth leadoff homer of the year. That was 99.4 miles an hour off the bat. That was his sixth opposite field home run.
Apple taco. I like it.
So of his 12 home runs, 6 of them are to the opposite field.
He uses all parts of the field when he's on. When Christian Yelich is Christian Yelich, he is using all of the field.
Yeah, for sure. Second pitch of the game, William Contreras extends his hit streak to 9. William Contreras has hit 107.7 miles an hour off the bat.
Wow.
Willie Adames grounded into a double play because it was right at a fielder, but his was 102 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, I remember that one from the game.
And then Owen Miller's flyout was 94.9 miles an hour off the bat. So the Brewers like scorching the ball out of the gates.
Wow.
Bottom of the first, Freddie Peralta got him to go 1-2-3. Thanks to some very good defense by Willie Adames.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the second, Tyrone Taylor, another well-hit deep fly out to the warning track in left center field. This is where, like I said, I do feel that Tyrone Taylor is starting to see the ball better. Bottom of the second, Bryce Terang made a really, really nice snag on a 105-mile-an-hour liner by Ellie De La Cruz. So good defense by him. And then Owen Miller followed that up with a nice snag on a Jonathan India liner and another nice snag on a Joey Votto liner. So 3 lineouts that inning, all 3 of them caught by the right side of the Brewers infield.
Dude, literally right at people, like
scorched, setting up, but good defensive positioning.
The Brewers coaching staff has to get more credit for how they set up the defense too.
I agree with you, and that is, I think that's Jason Lane's job. Actually, I think defensive positioning is part of his job. I think he's the third base coach and the defensive positioning for the infield.
He's pretty damn good at that.
But people wouldn't know that. They just complain when guys get thrown out. I told you I didn't agree to be nice. Top of the third inning, Freddie Peralta had 2 more strikeouts. Top of the fourth, William Contreras led off with a home run, also opposite field. So it's William Contreras' 7th multi-hit game in July.
Yep. Dude, when he was starting to, and they moved the first baseman last night. When he was starting to just hit the ball down the first base line, that's when I knew, like, all right, he's just taking what the defense gives him, right? Yep. And then they move the first baseman. Now he'll adjust again because he is just a good hitter.
He really, really is. So bottom of the fourth, Freddie Peralta's no-hitter was over, and if you look in hindsight, that was the only hit that he gave up. It should have been a strikeout.
Yes, it should have been.
If we have robo-umps, that's a strikeout, and Freddie Peralta and the Brewers pitch a combined no-hitter.
Ouch.
Yeah. A friggin' broken bat, single, whatever. It is what it is. Bottom of the 5th and 6th, both quiet innings from Freddie Peralta. Top of the 7th, Owen Miller makes it 1 solo shot every 3 innings. 1st, 4th, 7th. Every 3 innings, Brewers is going to hit a leadoff solo shot, so that's how that goes. Bottom of the 7th, Peguero struck out Ellie De La Cruz. The pitch that he got Ellie De La Cruz to strike out on, a 93-mile-an-hour slider.
Yep, and it was gross.
Bro, who throws 93-mile-an-hour sliders?
Only guys named Elvis, baby.
Dude, the only guy who really actually did that I can think of? CC Sabathia. I think his was 92.
Oh, wow.
A 93-mile-an-hour slider is uncalled for.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just trying to make a joke, but yeah, I think you might be right.
Dude, that's some dudes' fastballs aren't 93.
Yeah, I know.
Evan Williams' fastball is 94. And Peguero's just like, here you go. Here's a pitch that's going to move 18 inches. Oh, and it's 1 mile an hour slower than our closer's fastball.
I mean, we have 2 starting pitchers that don't throw 93 on a regular basis. Wade Miley and Julio Teheran. They can hit it, but they don't throw it on a regular basis.
And Hauser is not much over that. Hauser is usually between 92 and 94.
Yep.
Dude, that when I saw that he struck out De La Cruz on a 93-mile-an-hour slider, I'm like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
And he follows it up by striking out Jonathan India on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, bro, he was pumping that shit up there.
Bro, that's a 5-mile-an-hour difference from a fastball to a slider, and they're both in the 90s. It's not like he's throwing an 88-mile-an-hour fastball and an 85-mile-an-hour slider, Brett Suter style.
Mm-hmm.
Like 98, 93 fastball slider. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's not right.
It would be nice to have Hunter Renfroe's bat in right field, but man, Elvis Paguero has been so good.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we can just bring Hunter Renfroe back.
I mean, we figured on Joey Weimer being in right field.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Okay. So then he followed that up with a walk to Joey Votto and then got Spencer Steer to ground out after that. Top of the 8th, William Contreras got his 3rd hit of the game. Bottom of the 8th, Joel Payamps got 2 strikeouts. Top of the 9th, Tyrone Taylor finally gets his hit. So good for him. Stole second base. Andre Monasterio put together a good at-bat. Bryce Terang put together a good at-bat. Both of them taking lots of pitches, fouling pitches off. They did both strike out, but I wanted to give them credit for putting good at-bats together.
Yeah, that's big for Bryce.
Right. They were both over 8 pitch at-bats, and I think Terang's was like 10 or 12.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Right. So that to me suggests that he's seeing the ball a little bit better, which hopefully he's turning a corner there. Bottom of the 9th, Devin Williams comes in, gets 2 strikeouts and an Elly De La Cruz ground out on a great play by Andre Monasterio. He made a nice sliding stop in the third base shortstop gap and made a nice throw to first base. Only took Devin Williams 8 pitches to get through the 9th inning.
Yeah.
All right. So Brewers, with winning this game, officially have the tiebreaker over the season series with the Reds. So if the teams finish tied, the Brewers have the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Since the Brewers against the Oakland A's hit 500 at 34-34, they are now, including last night's game, 18-9 since then.
Yep.
Second best record in baseball.
To the Braves. Who literally were just beating everybody.
What did they just win? Like 18 straight?
Well,
something like that?
They just had their longest home losing streak of the year, 3 games. Did you see the score of the D-backs and Braves last night?
Dude, there was 12 teams that scored double-digit runs last night. It was the most in Major League Baseball history.
Yeah. They were 16-13. That game was fucking nuts.
Jeez. The Reds and Giants was like 11-10.
Yeah, final. The second game.
Okay. So I forgot what I was going to say about the record. Oh, the Reds coming into their series with the Brewers before the All-Star break had won 21 of their last 28. And then the Brewers are just like, here you go. Here's 5 out of 6 L's. Okay. Give me some stats, and then I'll give you some more stats.
Okay. So the stats that I have written down here is after this game, the Brewers completed 27 straight scoreless innings. In those 27 innings, 44 strikeouts, 8 walks, and they only gave up 7 hits.
Oh.
This is where the 1893 came in, by the way. That is the fewest amount of hits over a 3-game span since 1893. I saw that on SportsCenter, so they actually did talk good about us for a sec.
That's pretty similar to the stat that I have.
Hold on. I have another layer.
Oh, okay. All right.
I want to add one more thing. The last time the Brewers had 3 straight shutouts was July 19th through the 21st, 2013, with the Miami Marlins. We embarrassed them so bad they decided to bring up their number 1 prospect. The number 1 prospect was Christian Stefan Yelich, who later became a Brewers legend, in my opinion. And the funny part about that is immediately after our series, the Reds called up their number 1 prospect. This is history repeating itself, awesome. Dude. I love it.
The 3 guys that pitched those 3 shutouts were Kyle Lowe, Giovanni Gallardo, and Willie Peralta.
Hey, we had a Peralta on both of them, so I'm happy.
So the stat that I have is that the Reds were the first team to have 0 runs and less than 8 hits over a 3-game span ever.
That's nuts.
We literally made them have a worst series ever in the history of baseball.
For a little bit of context, baseball's really, really old. Like,
man, Brewers can't hit. They can literally make teams do shit that has never happened. In a bad way.
I have so many things to say right now. Like we've talked about, people, remaining patient and remaining faithful during seasons because whatever can happen, right? We've had that discussion how many times.
Oh, yeah.
And, people complain about the hitting, but they don't bring up how good our pitching and defense is. So you just be thankful for the things that you have, and you see the areas that you need to improve, and there's ways to improve that, right? So let's do it.
I got one more for you yet.
Oh, I'm ready.
Milwaukee Brewers are the first team in Major League Baseball history. So we have one bad one going the way of the Reds, one good one going the way of the Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers are the first team in Major League Baseball history to record 3 straight shutouts and at least 12 strikeouts in each game.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That's the best one of all time. Never heard a better stat in my life. That is amazing.
Oh my God, that's so disgusting. You brought up the 44 strikeouts, but man,
that's amazing. That is actually amazing, dude. Again, the first game, if I would have watched my team, and both these games are sellout crowds, Friday, Saturday night. The Cincinnati as a city is like, oh man, the Reds are buzzing.
Division lead on the line.
We still had the division lead after the break. They're coming to our house. People are like all excited. Let's go watch LA De La Cruz. They see the play that he did in Milwaukee. They're all excited. And then literally we just took a giant shit right in the middle of the baseball stadium. We're just like, look at it. Look at it. And it's just like, wow. Dude, that stat you just said blew my fucking mind, dude. You just blew my mind with that.
Told you I had more nasty stats following game 2.
That is amazing. That is actually amazing.
All right, let's go to game 3. What stood out to you from the third game, the finale of the Reds series?
So I'm going to start just by saying it doesn't matter because of that stat. So that was just fucking wow. Wow, dude. My face is hot now. That's crazy. And I didn't even laugh or anything. I'm just embarrassed for the Reds, I guess.
You're just totally flabbergasted.
But the always controversial Adrian Hauser.
Shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be, but he is.
You're talking about number 5 starters in baseball. Like, give me Adrian Hauser as our 5th best pitcher.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. So Michael said, sorry guys, I forgot to add earlier. In the first game with Burns, when asked GM Matt Arnold said, in no way we were trading Burns this year. I'd so love to sign him long term, but I'm not sure how we could afford him. They'll figure it out. I'm going to let those guys crunch the numbers, deal with that side of baseball. So Tyler has thoughts on it, though.
It's probably going to be a shorter term deal. So they might be able to pay him, something like a $30 million, but it's going to be like a 3-year $90 or a 4-year $120 versus like a 10-year $300 type thing.
If you can guarantee me 4 more years of prime Corbin Burns and tell him to trust the process of all these hitters that are coming up through the Brewers minor league systems and adding other arms that are going to, continue the dominance of our bullpen and our starters, I mean, I'm all for it. 100%.
Let me also add in the acquisition of William Contreras, a guy who's under team control through 2025 at least.
Yep.
Those are the moves that really matter. That's why trading a guy like Hunter Renfroe and Colton Wong makes sense. That's why acquiring a guy like Jesse Winker makes sense. That's going to be $11 million off your books at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're trying Joey Wiemers. That's why they're bringing up Blake Perkins. That's why they're bringing up Andrew Monasterio. That's why they have Bryce Terang up. That's why they have these guys on the team so that they can have a couple high salary guys and build around them. If you don't think that Matt Arnold's paying attention to that stuff, I guarantee you he 150% absolutely is. And that includes the players in AAA, the guys like Sal Frelick, the guys like Robert Gosser, who's a pitcher, doesn't quite count as much, but paying attention to guys like Jackson Churio, paying attention to guys like Tyler Black.
Yep.
Dude, I'm such a big Tyler Black fan. I cannot believe he's not in AAA yet. But these things matter.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna bring up Hira eventually.
Probably, it sounds like it.
Yeah, everything I've been reading, they're bringing him up, and then immediately after that move happens, like 30 seconds after that, Tyler Black's going to AAA.
That's fair.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So what I'll say on the subject of Keston Hiura, this is going to be his last chance because the Brewers are going to have to make a 40-man roster move to bring him up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not he doesn't have any minor league options. So if he doesn't perform and he gets DFA'd again, he's not making it back to the Milwaukee Brewers. He might make it back to the Nashville Sounds, but he's not making it back to the Brewers.
I agree with that. He's not coming back to the Brewers, but yeah. There were some quotes, and we could talk about that later if you would like.
Thanks for
going
back.
Mike. Going back to this game, yeah, thank you. Hauser went 5 2/3, got into a little bit of trouble, so Bryce Wilson comes in, and he's quietly been super, super successful for the Brewers this season. He pitches a third of an inning, but gets the guy out that he needs to get out, gets out of a jam. 0 hits, 0 walks, 0 earned runs, 0 Ks, but he got the job done, right? Star of this game, to be completely honest, might be Hobie Milner.
Oh, I agree with you.
2 strong innings. The 1 walk, the 1 hit, but he had 1 K, but he was in command on that mound. Hobie Milner absolutely gets a star of this game. Devin Williams, again, I did not think he was going to pitch. I was like, I don't know who we're going to put in there, but it's definitely not going to be Devin Williams. But then he was just like, yeah, okay. It's what did it take him in this game? 9 pitches? You have it written down? Was it 11
this one
or 9?
was...
I remember he got through the first 2 and 4 pitches.
9. Yep.
It was 9.
14 innings or 14 pitches in the first one, 8 pitches in the second one, 9 pitches in this one.
Yeah, I knew he was super efficient in the last 2. Yeah. In terms of RBIs, Yelich, another home run, his 13th of the year. He also had a double, which was his 20th double of the year. So he has 20 doubles, 13 home runs, over 20 stolen bases. His OPS is freaking through the freaking roof, sky high. He had 2 RBIs in this one. Monasterio, he made the mistake where people started complaining about him at third base, and then he comes through with a late RBI, his 6th of the year. Owen Miller got the 26th RBIs. I have some stats for you about the bullpen real quick here. So if you add these 3 games in with the last game before the All-Star break, the Brewers bullpen in those 4 games versus the Reds, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 1 freaking hit, 0 earned runs, 19 strikeouts, and a 0.16 whip.
Wow. And what? 2 walks in there?
It doesn't. I don't have walks.
I think I only had 1 in the previous game, so
I can look
it couldn't have been
now.
Many.
So Hobie Milner had 1, and then so 1 walk,
2.
1 walk and 2 walks and 1.
Payans had 1 in the second game, I think.
No, Peguero had a walk.
Peguero had 1. Okay, I knew one of them had a walk in one of the games, but they didn't give up any hits.
So 2 walks, 1 hit, 19 strikeouts in 12 innings.
Shit.
Bro, they literally just took a shit on the Reds this weekend. It was awesome.
Wow.
I'd be terrified if this team had hitting. They'd be the best team in baseball.
And the thing is like the Reds were like they built their good surge on their hitting.
Yep.
Like I will give credit to Abbott. He's a solid left-handed pitcher. He's a rookie for them, so he's doing well for them.
Yep.
But they're not built to be a pitching juggernaut. Their team is built on scoring runs.
Yep, 100%.
And the Brewers just said nah.
Yeah. No.
No. You're not. No. You're not scoring.
Yep.
Can't let that happen. So top of the first inning, William Contreras extended his hit streak to 10. Bottom of the first, Adrian Hauser struck out the side. He does not do that very often.
No.
Bottom of the second, the Reds finally got on their board with India and Votto getting hits. That ended a streak of 28 consecutive scoreless innings by the Brewers as a team. That is the 4th longest streak in franchise history.
Yep. I remember that one from the game.
And what followed that is the Reds manager getting tossed for arguing balls and strikes. Imagine getting tossed in the second inning of a game you're up 1-0 in.
You want a little stat on their record when he gets tossed?
What is it?
So since he started as the manager in 2019, He's got tossed 25 times. Their record is 5-20 in those games. They are 1-4 this season when he gets tossed. 5-20, and you think you're helping them?
Wow.
Yeah.
Tossed in the second inning. Good call, dude. Bryce Terang ended the second inning with a Gold Glove level play at second base. Top of the third, that's when Christian Yelich hit his home run, 439 feet.
So
second
close.
Longest of the season by 1 foot.
God damn it, he was so close. Like, I kind of just want him to have all the stats.
Right? I saw somebody say that he needs to lead the team in hits, average, RBI, home runs, doubles. He needs to lead the team in every offensive category for how much he gets paid. I literally saw somebody say that.
I mean, he practically is, right?
He damn near, yeah.
Except home runs, really.
Right, and he's not far off.
No, he's not. He's only 3.
He's tied. That's right, he's tied.
Yeah, because Adames has 16.
16, yep. Bottom of the third, the Reds grabbed the lead back with a 2-run home run, made it 3-1. Both teams are quiet in the fourth inning. Top of the fifth inning, Andrew Monasterio led off with a single. Bryce Terang, seeing the ball well, worked a walk. Weimer had a fly out into the gap. Good play by the center fielder. I don't remember who was playing center field that day, if it was Friedel. But a good play to keep Andrew Monasterio at second base. His momentum he carried towards third base. That's a good play by the Red center fielder. I will give them credit for that. Christian Yelich, one of his 3 hits is a single, makes it 3-2. And then William Contreras hit a sharp liner, resulted in an unfortunate double play. It's just one of those things. The guy hit the ball hard. There's no shame in it. It's, it goes as a double play in the books, but he hit the ball hard, which is really all you really want when you boil it down.
Yep.
Hauser followed that up with a 1-2-3 bottom of the fifth on 8 pitches.
Yep.
So Reds are like, all right, we got some momentum back. Got a great defensive play to get a double play out of this, get out of this jam. And Adrian Hauser is just like, shh. 8 pitches. Took a 1-2-3. Top of the 6th, Willie Adames led off with a single on an off-speed pitch. Good to see Willie Adames hitting off-speed pitches.
Yes.
The Brewers had 3 strikeouts following that, which isn't great. But we talked about this earlier when Michael asked the question about defense. Christian Yelich and Joey Weimer showing their range. Joey Votto drew a walk. Spencer Steer hit a hotliner. Andrew Monasterio couldn't handle it. And that was the end for Adrian Hauser. Now, we just talked about the ninth inning last night, or the previous night, for Andrew Monasterio making a great play on Elly De La Cruz to finish the game. You got to just take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to make literally every single play.
No.
He's not even Nolan Arenado, who has all of the Gold Gloves, who hasn't played perfect defense this season. Not everybody's going to be perfect 100% of the time, and expecting a baseball team to do that over a 162-game season is at best unrealistic, and what I would just say is blatantly delusional, honestly. To expect 100% perfection for 162 games. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So, overall, Andrew Monasterio has been very good.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the 7th, Joey Weimer drew a 2-out walk. Christian Yelich drew a 2-out walk, and then William Contreras had a deep fly out to end the threat there. Bottom of the 7th, Hobie Milner, scoreless 7th. Top of the 8th, Willie Adames, leadoff walk. Jesse Winker hit a long single off the wall. Just essentially a hit that he hit off the wall directly to the right fielder. There's not a ton you can do with that.
Yeah. We will get to your question, Connor, after this game.
Yes. So Winker with the long single. Adames did get to third, so Tyrone Taylor comes in to run. First and third with 1 out. Owen Miller had a deep sac fly, tied the game. Tyrone Taylor got the second on the throw. That's heads-up base running. And just a good call by Craig Counsell to put a guy who's going to get to second on that throw, because Jesse Winker doesn't do that.
No.
So the Reds bring in their closer, all-star closer at that. At the top, you had a fly out. Andrew Monasterio follows it with an RBI single to right field. Tyrone Taylor scores. Monasterio gets the second on the throw. 4-3 lead for the Brewers. To get that, Andrew Monasterio, if you want to complain about his defense, you better give him double the praise for getting a game lead hitting single off of an all-star closer to follow that.
That was a clutch hit.
For sure. Bottom of the 8th, Hobie Milner still in. Gets Elly De La Cruz to line out. Jonathan India to strikeout, and Joey Votto to ground out. What I would say is the toughest part of their order, that 4, 5, 6 of De La Cruz, India, and Votto.
Against the Brewers, yes.
Top of the ninth, Christian Yelich hit a deep fly ball to left field, turned into a double. He finished a triple short of the cycle.
Dude, that guy was just turning around. I thought his shoes were going to get tied together. He turned around so many times.
I mean, would it happen against anybody but the Reds?
For real, right?
William Contreras came back from 0-2 to draw a walk. Willie Adames hit a flyout to get Yelich to third, and then Victor Caratini struck out. But bottom of the ninth, Devin Williams comes in for the third straight day. The first time that he's pitched three straight days in 2023.
Oh, wow.
Gets a hot grounder to Bryce Terang that he snagged. Owen Miller with a nice pick, and then gets a strikeout to end the game. Really just great work by the Brewers. They get to 10 games over 500, their highest mark of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing to complain about in this Reds series. There's literally nothing.
Let's give credit to Owen Miller as well. After he had a rough day against the Cubs, that Cubs series taught us a lot of stuff. And we still won 2 games. So
That's fair.
He put in a lot of work dealing with those hops, those short hops, those medium hops.
And they said this on the broadcast. He's been out early working at first base every day.
Yeah, credit to him for real. That's all. That's winning baseball right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this from Connor?
So Connor asked on YouTube, do you think they signed Woody as well? Sorry, I'm a little back when you talked about Burns. Could they do both Burns and Woodruff? This, to me, it's going to be something where it's got to be short term. I don't see any of them signing for more than 5 years. They're both 29. I know Burns is 29, but I think Woodruff's like the same age. But they're both around that age, so I don't think the Brewers are going to get to a position where they sign either one of them for like a 10-year deal. Even Christian Yelich, when he was what, 20, 31, so he was 27 when they gave him his 7-year deal.
No, Woodruff turned 30 in February.
Okay, so I don't think they're going anything longer than putting them at 35 years old. That's just what I think. I don't know, because Matt Arnold's philosophy on signing guys long term could be very different from what David Stern's was. So paying attention to these two guys, which Burns is still arbitration eligible for next season, so he's not a free agent after 2023.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you'd like to lock him up before that if you can.
Right.
It's really something we're going to have to pay attention to this offseason, because it's going to be different, because our president of baseball operations, GM, whatever you want to call him, he's a different person. So he's going to have different philosophy, different strategy.
Right. So for me, I kind of look at it as the way as something that happened in the NFL today, where the Steelers signed Andrew Highsmith to a 4-year, $68 million deal. And the rest of the league, who has a bunch of edge rushers who are up for deals, Green Bay Packers included, with Rashawn Gary, are looking at that like, okay, that's the value for a guy like that. Am I equal to him? Am I better than him? Am I a little bit worse than him? Right. So for me, in this way with the Brewers, I think once they sign Woody, I think Burns will then be able to gauge his value, how the Brewers are going to value him, and then his agent will have the value that he is around the league. So getting Woodruff signed first, I think, is absolutely a necessity to get Burns to sign here as well, because then Burns knows, okay, we still have me, we still have Woodruff, we still have Freddie Peralta, and then we also have these, we have the law firm, we have a bunch of guys in the minors that could help out as well. We still have a Hobie Milner in the bullpen. Yep. So I think signing Brandon Woodruff would be something that could definitely set us up for later. For later success with Burns.
It's really gonna be something to pay attention to. It's really what I'm gonna say.
I just want to see Brandon Woodruff's contract details.
What I will say is Matt Arnold so far, all the trades that he's made, they look really good. Elvis Ferreira's a rookie, so we got that. Abner Uribe looks fantastic. We're going to get to him in this Phillies game, so we can jump into that.
Woodruff still has arbitration next year.
He has 1 year left, or does he have 2?
1 year of arbitration. He got paid $10.8 million this year, so I would imagine somewhere around that for a 3-4 year deal. Him and oh my God, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like seeing like a Jacob Morowski and and a Ethan Small and the newly added top 100. I'm blanking on his name now.
Robert Gosser.
Robert Gosser. I mean, they could all be up in 2025. So we might actually be set up for like perfect timing. As sad as that is, you got to look at it from both ends of the spectrum. We could be up for like perfect timing of like some of our hitters are going to be more experienced,
Right.
And we could have like a good contact offensive team. And then we're like role reversal where like the pitchers are young and we're trying to get their legs under them, So I don't know.
I mean, Josh Noth I think he's 17. He'll be 18 very soon, but he already throws 96 to 98.
I know
with
that's stupid.
with a 3,000 RPM curveball when the league average is around 2,500.
That's so stupid.
Matt Arnold, I think they've signed 4 draft picks so far. All of them have been below the slot value for where they were picked. So Matt Arnold made a ton of high school picks on the final day of the draft, but he's got a lot of extra money saved up from the guys that he's signed so far. So we could be in a position where the Brewers sign literally all their draft picks, which would be just insane. But so far, Matt Arnold has done a great job in his role. So I have faith in him coming into this offseason. Now, like Jake just said, I do think you're in an area where if you can bring those guys back, you'd love to. If you can't, I mean, the Brewers can go with a youth movement. We didn't mention this at the top of the show. Wade Miley went on the injured list, as did Brian Anderson. But Brandon Woodruff is throwing a rehab appearance on Saturday, and Aaron Ashby is also beginning bullpens.
Woodruff is going to be in Appleton for the T-Rats. No, he's not.
They're on the road.
Oh,
so he's pitching for the Timber Rattlers, but it's on the road.
Damn it! I thought they were at home.
Yeah,
but he is pitching for the Timber Rattlers.
He is pitching for them. Yes, just on the road.
Damn, I thought they were.
So Matt Arnold did say this. He said, no matter what, when asked about the trade deadline, no matter what, we're acquiring an all-star level starting caliber pitcher at the essentially at the trade deadline when Woodruff comes back.
I mean, it's almost like 2 guys on this show said that, so that's weird.
I mean, I just work here.
That's weird that we would say something smart,
Yeah, I mean, it is weird. Okay, what's to you from last night's game?
Well, we get to this game. The Phillies are on fire too, by the way.
Yep, they are.
Along with the Braves and the Brewers.
Yep.
The Braves, Brewers, and Phillies, since like the middle or beginning of June, have been the 3 best teams in the National League.
Yep. Totally fair.
So you guys can all suck on that, and people who love the NL West. The NL West is good. Don't let me discourage you. The NL West is good. The Diamondbacks are really good. By the way, some Brewers fans, I shouldn't say all. I'm going to say how some talk. You wouldn't think that they would only be 1 win behind the Diamondbacks. I mean, that's perspective.
You bringing up that they're tied with the Astros is very interesting.
They would be like a half game behind because they haven't played as many games. But dude, they literally have like the same fucking record. They have a better record than the Yankees. They have a better record than the Red Sox.
Yep.
I mean, the Red Sox have good players like Rafael Devers. I mean, that's stupid. Whatever. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. So last night we played the Phillies. First pitch of the game was a home run.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, we're now 1-0. Let's dig out of it. And the heart of this team showed up last night. They just kept grinding, kept going after it. They ended up getting this game tied later in this game. Tyler will give you the full breakdown as he does every week. He does a tremendous job. But Julio Teheran, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 earned runs, and 3 Ks. The thing about Julio Teheran is his stuff works when he locates it correctly.
Right.
He is catching a little bit too much of the plate. They did say that in the pregame yesterday, and I do agree. That's what happened on the home run. That's what happened on a couple of these other hits that happened in this game. Is he just catches a little bit too much of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
He does still have starter quality stuff. I mean,
we need to get rid of him. He's figured out. Man, we can't. No. We shouldn't have thought that shopping off the clearance rack would continue to work. Told you I didn't agree to be nice today.
I'm going to be nice. I'm choosing to be nice. I was Never mind. I was on one this weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
I woke up and chose Petty.
I was on one this weekend, man. So I gotta balance it out a little bit. Got to get some of that good karma back for myself. But Trevor McGill, he's back with the Brewers yesterday. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 0 earned runs. He did give up a run though, but it wasn't charged to him.
Right.
And he had a strikeout. He's another guy that can just hit 100. Uribe, this guy, I got to tell you, he's fun. If he develops the rest of the season, he could be the 4th guy in the law firm.
He's going to be our 8th inning guy for like the next 8 years.
Eventually he will, yes.
How does that roll off the tongue? The law firm of Peguero, Piamps, Uribe, and Williams?
I mean, come on. It doesn't sound bad, in my opinion. He had the 1 hit. He did have 2 strikeouts, though, but he was pretty damn good. He was hitting 100 on multiple occasions, throwing that slider at 90, 88 miles per hour. So, I mean, he's all over the board. He's throwing different speeds. He's doing a good job. He is getting acclimated to MLB baseball at the top level.
Yep. Like a September call-up in July.
All right. JC Mejia, he was okay. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits. He didn't give up any earned runs. So, again, the bullpen, 0 earned runs again. Wow, shocker. But in this one, Yelich and Monasterio had a couple 2-out RBIs. So Yelich is now up to 50 RBIs. If he gets somewhere in the 85 to 90 range.
As a leadoff hitter, bro?
Pretty damn good. If we add a bat in the next couple weeks here, if we add a bat, a guy that you can you put him right there in the 4-hole, he's good to go. Kind of a little bit of protection for a Willy Adames who hopefully can heat up if there's a guy behind him. He's going to see some more pitches. That's my dream, at least. Christian Yelich with that top 4, if we added a bat, like whoever the hell it is, we'll have to, judge it by the player. I think that top 4 can win you some games because the bottom of the order in this one was actually the one who carried.
Good call.
Bryce Terang, who leads us in triples, by the way, with 3. He's starting to see the ball better. I'm glad you called that out because I was going to say that in this game. He's definitely starting to see the ball better. He's gonna start hitting. He's gonna get on a little on base streak here. He's still gonna continue giving us great defense. So, what is your opinions on the Brewers game's gonna be starting here pretty soon, or unless it is started? But we're gonna go right off of talking about the Brewers to watching them. So that's gonna be absolutely phenomenal.
That's exactly how it's gonna go. So the Brewers went 1-2-3 in the first 4 innings of the game. You already mentioned the home run by Schwarber. The second inning, a walk, a double, and ground ball produced a run for the Phillies. Bottom of the third, another single run scored, a triple scored after a single. And then the bottom of the fourth, the Phillies leadoff walk, and then went 1-2-3. The top of the fifth, the Brewers ended a consecutive inning streak of Aaron Nola, 22.2 innings.
Wow.
So I don't like admitting it, but it's true. Aaron Nola, he kind of owns the Brewers a little bit.
He does. And I knew you were going to bring that up. That's not an embarrassing thing because Aaron Nola,
he's a good pitcher. It's not like,
Aaron Nola has been second in the Cy Young. He's made like 5 All-Star games, 4 or 5. He's one of the best pitchers in the National League. He should have made. People thought he was going to win the Cy Young the year that Corbin Burns took it from him.
That was Zach Wheeler.
Oh, that was Zach Wheeler. Same.
Nola was like 5th or 6th though. Like he was the Woodruff to Aaron Nola's Corbin Burns essentially.
Yeah, he. I know he's been up for Cy Young a few times, and he finished I think his highest finish was 2nd. So I mean, he's not a bad pitcher. He's a
very very good pitcher still.
Yeah.
So the Brewers did that with 2 outs. Good work by them. Tapia single, stole second. Andre Monasterio made the game 3-1. And then Bryce Terang hit a high chopper up the middle, and a bad throw allowed Andre Monasterio to score. Bryce Terang stole second, and a Weimer strikeout ended the inning. Bottom of the fifth, 2 outs and 2 singles ended Tehran's day. McGill came in, gave up a single that made it 4-2, and then after a wild pitch, got a ground out to end the 5th inning. Top of the 6th and the 7th, the Brewers went 1-2-3 again. In the bottom of the 6th, Trevor McGill gave up a leadoff single and then got a strikeout and a flyout. Abner Uribe came in, struck out Trey Turner, One of the best shortstops in the game.
Yep.
4 pitches, 3 sliders, and a sinker. Great work by Uribe against a very, very good hitter. Now,
Yes.
bottom of the 7th, Abner Uribe went 1 out, 2 out, single, 3rd out. The second out of that inning was Bryce Harper. Abner Uribe threw him 5 pitches. 4 of them were over 99.8 miles an hour,
Yep.
including a 102.2 mile an hour 4-seam fastball, the new fastest pitch in Milwaukee Brewers history.
That's just stupid, dude.
He followed that up with a slider down and in at 90 miles an hour to Bryce Harper, a pitch that almost hit the top of his shoes. He swung and missed at by a lot.
Bryce Harper is one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah. That's some BDE, if you know what that stands for, from Abner Uribe. To do that, to Trey Turner the inning before, and then Bryce Harper this inning to throw him 4 absolute gas pitches, including the fastest pitch in franchise history and a 90-mile-an-hour slider down in.
Yeah, that's just bullshit.
Strike him out on 5 pitches.
Yikes.
Top of the 8th, Brewers got a good start. Andre Monasterio had a single. Bryce Terang had a single. Joey Weimer, good hustle to avoid a double play.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nola was done with 1 out, the runners in the corners. Christian Yelich hit a ground ball. There was no chance for a double play. That made it 4-3, which would be the final score. William Contreras grounded out to end the threat in the 8th. You mentioned Mejia. What I want to give credit for in the 8th inning, Mejia gives up a leadoff single. Gets a ground ball. Bryce Terang charges this ground ball, gloves it, tags the runner, and throws to first. That's a hard play to make.
Yes.
To make a tag and then transfer and throw. So that is fantastic work by Bryce Terang.
Stud.
Another single after that, turns the lineup over, and then Mejia got Schwarber looking with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. That's good work by J.C. Mejia, too.
Yeah.
Top of the 9th, Willie Adames had a soft liner for an out. Jesse Winker had a hard hit, reached on an error. Blake Perkins running for him. Craig Kimbrell threw away the pickoff attempt. Perkins got to second, and then Owen Miller struck out, and Raimel Tapia flew out to end the game. But I mean, I called for a 2-2 week. Actually, I figured the Brewers would take 2 of 3 from the Reds.
I called 3-1.
And lose this one against the Phillies, and they swept the Reds, and then lost to the Phillies. So, looking at it, the Brewers have 2 more against Philly. They have today and tomorrow. They have 3 versus Atlanta. Jake and I will be there on Friday. So if you're going to the game on Friday, hit Jake and I up. We'll come and visit. Yeah. And then 3 more against Cincinnati. 8 games between today and next week, Wednesday, when we do our next show. What do you think? I'm going to go first because I usually ask you first, but I'm going to go first this week.
Yeah.
I'm going on a limb. I'm going to say 6-2.
I am also going 6-2. We're going to get a Colin Ray masterclass tonight. The starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies is a guy named Christopher Sanchez. Only 2 of our hitters I've ever seen.
Woo! Easy. Jake got excited. So, I mean, you're looking at 2 games against the Phillies, 3 games against the Braves, 3 against Cincinnati. What I'm saying 6-2, I'm looking for the Brewers to win the series with the Phillies by winning today and tomorrow. I'm going to say 1 out of 3 against the Braves. If they have to win 1 out of 3, the one that I hope they win is the game that Jake and I are at. And I think the Brewers and the Reds ownership is going to continue. I think the Brewers are going to sweep the Reds again.
Yep. I have them taking 1 or 2. I'm hoping the Friday night is the one.
That's exactly what I said.
I think that they're gonna sweep the Reds again. But we have Colin Ray tonight. Christopher Sanchez is the starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's a left-handed pitcher. People are gonna freak out about that. The Brewers have been really good against lefties as of late. And then we have Corbin Burns on the bump tomorrow. So I'm looking to win the next 2 against the Phillies.
That's what I said too. All right, I'm with it.
When I get excited, I pull this cord.
You need to settle down over there.
It just sets everything on fire, dude.
All righty. Well, there will be no Friday show this week. Jake and I are going to be at the Brewer game. And then we will be back next Wednesday with 8 baseball games to talk about. Definitely going to be lots of content still coming out between now and next Wednesday. And I will see you then.
Hopefully we get to see the law firm tonight, baby.
And Friday night.
And Friday night. All right, buddy.